Hello everyone, learn chemistry with Bookem. And we can also call endothermic reaction as sucking energy in. That it's absorb energy. It's taking in energy from the surrounding. It is taking it in. It is absorbing. It is absorbing energy. In an endothermic reaction, the system must take in energy from the outside to break its bond. So it takes in energy from the outside, from the surrounding, from the environment, from a body, to break its bond. So the temperature of the surrounding decreases. The temperature of the surrounding decreases because it takes in energy from the surrounding. It takes in the heat. It takes it in. So when it takes the heat in, the heat of the surrounding will decrease, or the temperature of the surrounding will decrease. An example of endothermic reaction is photosynthesis. Melting of ice is also an example of endothermic reaction. When you melt your ice, heat is being absorbed. It is the heat that is absorbed from the surrounding that makes your ice to melt. So if there's no heat, if that's the reason why when it was inside the freezer, it was blocked and you have your ice blocked. But when you bring it out, you notice that after some minutes, you will start seeing some droplet of water. So what caused that droplet of water is as a result of the heat that is absorbed from the surrounding. Another example is photosynthesis. Photosynthesis is also an example of endothermic reaction. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the ability of green plants to manufacture their own food through sunlight. So as they are taking in that sunlight, they are absorbing it from the surrounding to manufacture their own, for the plant to manufacture their own food. Thermal decomposition of limestone is also another example of endothermic reaction. Let's see this diagram. Let's see this diagram. Reaction, the product is always going to be higher than the reactant. The product will be higher than the reactant. That's because the product is the major source of concern here. Okay, the reactant, let me say the reactant now is when you put your ice block, when you put your water in the freezer, after sometimes it will melt, it will turn to ice. So when that is the reactant, so when you bring it out, the product, is when the ice melts. So the product is going to be the major one absorbing energy. So that is why the product is always going to be higher in an endothermic reaction than the reactant. So let's try our knowledge. Let's try to answer this question. You can feel free to pause this. You can pause this video. So when a reaction occurs, it feels hot. That means it will release heat to the surrounding. That is an exothermic reaction. It was not hot before. After sometimes it gets hot. So that means it is being released from the reaction to the surrounding.